Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, sheltering from the storm this morning. Hey, it's springtime. It's coming. And at least it's Friday. Do we have any local teams playing for state basketball titles today in the tournaments?
Absolutely do. We have both of them, the Kickapoo Lady Chiefs and the Nixa Eagles. Both will play for state championships. Kickapoo, the Lady Chiefs, are very, very good. They knocked off Blue Springs South and did it by double digits, 51-36. Great game. And, of course, the young lady who's going to Baylor, Miss Fauntleroy, Bella Fauntleroy, was nothing short of outstanding. Now, we'll talk a little bit later on about the team they're playing, but it's Incarnate Word from St. Louis, as you knew it would be. They're a nationally ranked team, and they play Kickapoo once this year. Now, Nixa is going to play St. Louis CBC, Christian Brothers, who are always there, it seems. Nixa played very well, defeated Staley High School from North Kansas City at 53-43. So Nixa is into the Class 6 boys state championship. Both of the city's Class 6 teams are in the state championship finals. That's pretty good.
That's real good for the area. And go Eagles and Lady Chiefs. Get those dubs. So we definitely have games going on today here at the JQH. When and where? Well, I already said where. Just the win then.
Well, it is 4, 5, and 6 because the 4 and 5s have their semifinals today. We mentioned Kickapoo. They play for the state championship against Incarnate Word. That'll be at 2 o'clock. Nixa and the boys will play CBC from St. Louis, and that's the Class 6 boys game. That's at 4 o'clock. Now, other games. The very first one on the schedule is West Plains. The Lady Zizzers coming up here to play. That's a Class 5 semifinal. West Plains is very good. They play Smithville. That'll be at noon today. Smithville's from a little bit north of Kansas City. And then later on tonight, Springfield Catholic will meet Elias from Jefferson City. That is a Class 5 semifinal. That is at 8 o'clock tonight at the JQH Arena. Championship games for 4 and 5 are tomorrow at JQH. And I suspect that we'll have some pretty good basketball going on.
Sounds like we've got some really good area representation, which
Absolutely.
is great. Basketball season's coming over for the kids, though. That sucks. But baseball season is starting to kind of get moving in the right direction. The baseball Bears have had to make kind of a change in their schedule so far.
It'll be a 3-game series that they play with Southeast Missouri, but instead of one each day, because of the obvious rain conditions, today's game is going to be moved to tomorrow, and the Bears in Southeast Missouri will play a doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock over at Hammonds Field, and then they'll come back and play a single game on Sunday, and that'll also be in the afternoon, of course. But the Bears playing very well, coming off a 16-1 thrashing of KU, and that was a game in which the Bears hit 5 home runs. They hit 7 against KU up in Lawrence. I tell you, KU's pitching is taking a battering right now.
Sounds like a wiffle ball game to me.
But the Bears will take that. But it is 3 games with Southeast Missouri, doubleheader tomorrow, single game Sunday.
Let's talk Lady Bears. Were they able to get the dub in the tournament last night?
I knew they would because Florida State, folks, is only a very average team. They're not all that good. You could watch them, look at their record. Yeah, they come from the ACC and all that, but the Lady Bears have played much tougher teams than Florida State this year. And I expected the Lady Bears to win, and they did. 61-50, got off to a big 14-1 lead, frittered it away, but then came back to really establish themselves and come away with a very nice win. Maya Benhar with 12, and then Sydney White, Sydney Wilson and Mariah White each had 11 points, and the Lady Bears win it by 11. Now, they take today off, actually. They'll go through some drills today down in Baton Rouge, but then tomorrow they play Ohio State. That'll be a little bit different. Ohio State's a number 6 seed, and the Lady Bears are number 11. Wouldn't sell the Lady Bears short, but this will be a tougher game than Florida State. Ohio State's seasoned team out of the Big Ten, but by the same token, the Lady Bears are seasoned as well. They were a Sweet 16 team last year. They are playing at the top of their game. Gosh, once they got rolling last night in Baton Rouge, they really put away the Lady Noles. I won't say easily, but by substantial margins. And the Lady Bears pretty good. Anyway, a win over Florida State and Ohio State tomorrow.
Good luck, Lady Bears. Real quick, they made it official in Kansas City. Justin Reed, how do you like that signing?
I think it's a very good one. We talked with Danon Hughes yesterday, and he's high on the kid, as he should be. This kid was the number 2 pick, I believe, by the Houston Texans back in 2018. Not a kid. He's 25 years old. Stanford, very bright, very smart individual. He can take over, maybe not the leadership that Honey Badger had, but he can certainly take over from a defensive standpoint. He was a very good defensive player with the Texans. So, indeed, I think it's a very good signing.
Very good-looking dude and very well-spoken. I watched that press conference.
Mike, you don't come out of Stanford and not speak very well.
Well, I don't know. I came out of Missouri State, so what's that say about me? Andrew Wiley, they got him another year. You think that's a good one, too?
It is, because he has experience on the O-line. He can handle things, and he can provide that level of maturity that offensive line. It's a young O-line, and they need the experience.
I think they do, too. And it was only 1 year, so I think it was a smart deal. We had the first round of the NCAA tournament kickoff yesterday for those of you who had your vasectomies as an excuse to stay home for the weekend. The others, just skipping out on work to hang out at the bar. Any surprises except for that one massive upset?
Well, it is, but are there surprises are subjective when it comes to the NCAA tournament, because after all, these are the best teams in the country that have been chosen. Now, there are lower seeds and higher seeds. That's the media. Well, it's the NCAA that does it, but it's the media influence. Does it make all that much of a difference? No, because these teams are all good. The big upset that you're making reference to is Kentucky and St. Peter's. Nobody around here has ever heard of St. Peter's. They're in Jersey City, just outside New York City, just across the Hudson River. They can play the St. Peter's Peacocks. No, if Kentucky and St. Peter's were to play 10 times, the Kentucky Ball Club would probably win 7. But last night was not one of them. And St. Peter's in overtime knocks out Kentucky. It's not all, to me, that much of a shocker, because Kentucky plays very inconsistent basketball. The one that did, I didn't watch this one all the way through. I wanted to see how well Gonzaga would play against Georgia State. Nobody's ever heard of Georgia State. They're out of the Sun Belt Conference. They're a championship Sun Belt Conference team. Not bad. Nowhere near as big as Gonzaga. But oh my, they gave Gonzaga fits for 3/4 of the game. In fact, with 10 minutes to go in the game, Gonzaga led by 4, and it was very dicey. Gonzaga wins it by 21. They went on a 21-0 scoring binge. Once they got their game in rhythm, oh my, they went absolutely nuts and blew Georgia State out of the ballpark. That was over the final 10 minutes of the game. Gonzaga's going to have to play a whole lot more consistent basketball than that. The other one that may have surprised area fans, and Mike, you and I talked about this earlier, Arkansas playing Vermont. Vermont's obviously a New England-based school. Fly under the radar. They're really, really good. They took Arkansas right to the wire last night. Razorbacks won the game 75-71. And I'm going to tell you what, the Vermont team can play. It's done for them this year, but watch out for them in the future. They're very good. St. Mary's, they're my dark horse. Unloaded on Indiana, beat the devil out of them. Kansas, you knew this would happen, walloped Texas Southern, which is a play-in team. Texas ran them, or Kansas, I should say, ran them right out of the ballpark. So we'll see another first-round section today. Who knows? There may be some more, quote, surprises, end quote.
Well, my bracket's not too screwed up just yet. We'll see after today, though. We've got the exhibition games starting off this weekend. Is that right?
They do indeed start off today, as a matter of fact. Cardinals will play the Houston Astros down at Jupiter, Florida, and the Royals take on the Texas Rangers. The Rangers and Royals are their camp partners. They're right there in Surprise. So they train on different fields, of course, but they do train right there and use the same ballpark for their games, so they'll play each other today to start things off.
So happy we can actually talk about baseball.
Without having to talk about them carping at each other all the time.
Literally like hiding under the desk because Ned's going to throw a chair at me. Thank God it's over. Have a great weekend, sir, and I'll see you on Monday.